Hi, my name is Amber Gitter. I'm a recent transplant from Chicago and I became a realtor here in Delray Beach, Florida. I'm with Coldwell Banker Realty and today I'm talking about real estate and the social economic boom in Delray Beach. I'm here with Steve Weinrob, managing broker of Coldwell Banker Delray Realty. I'm also here with Laura Simon, the director of Delray Downtown Development Authority, and I'm here with Stephanie Immelman, CEO of the Greater Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce. Also co-hosting this wonderful show today is my mother, Sue Carey, who's a resident of Boca Raton and is planning to open up a really interesting business here in Delray Beach. Welcome, all of you. We're here to talk about the social and economic boom of Delray and also the real estate market. I'm going to start with Steve, who will give us a really interesting insight about the real estate market here in Delray.
Well, hello everyone. It's an honor to be here with everybody. Thank you for allowing me to come along. Delray Beach market is booming. We're an incredible little town near the beach. It's exploding. Our inventory is very low. Our houses are selling almost immediately now. Everybody wants to be here. We've luckily been able to weather this COVID storm better than most areas of the country because of our climate. We're a little more spread out than some of the vertical cities up north. And we happen to be a tax-friendly state. We don't have income tax down here. Our interest rates are crazy low right now. So it's really a perfect storm for buying real estate down here in Delray Beach, and everybody just wants to be here.
Why do we have a 2-month inventory?
Well, we're just not seeing a lot of houses come in the market due to the COVID situation. A lot of people are not allowing people in their homes. They're a little reluctant to come down with the restrictions of traveling. We have a large Canadian part of our business down here that we just really aren't seeing right now because they can't come down. They're not able to sell their homes. So it's just been kind of a lockdown for us somewhat. So the homes that are in the market are selling immediately, and everybody wants to be here from California, Illinois, Connecticut, New York. It's just an incredible place to be. So everything that's coming on the market is selling quickly, and there's just not enough people coming on.
You're seeing multiple offers on a lot of the real estate?
Almost 85% of our listings right now are going in multiple offers.
And what do you recommend if someone's moving here, if they want to buy a property?
Pay top dollar. You have to go in. It's not a market where you can negotiate really. It's something where you have to decide what your top dollar is and make that offer up front. Make the offers as clean as possible. It's a seller's market by every definition of a seller's market right now.
Sue, what's your thoughts about Delray Beach?
Delray was the biggest surprise of my whole life. I've lived in many countries and many cities, and I come from Chicago now, bought a home down here, and then discovered the Seagate and Atlantic Avenue, and music and dancing, and I have not been around in years. A place where it's like a throwback to the old-fashioned times of where you could go out and dine, listen to music, all kinds of music, all kinds of people. I'm in my element here, and I come very frequently, and I have a friend who's one of the best extraordinary artists here in Delray. His name is Orson Whitfield. I don't know if you've ever heard him play and sing, but being raised in the theater, I know talent. So I'm always at the Seagate and then always at these wonderful restaurants, and this new restaurant here is just glorious. What is it's something fish. Lionfish, and it's a new restaurant. It's absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, getting back to music, dining, dancing, and living a glorious life is right here in Delray. And other than that, I don't have a thing to say except I'm going to be here most nights of the week, especially on Friday, especially on Saturday, dining and dancing. I mean, what else do you want?
Thanks, Mom, for that wonderful promo on Delray Beach. I love Delray Beach too, and I love hanging out on Atlantic Avenue, going shopping. The boutiques here are just fabulous. Now I want to segue into the history of Delray. Delray is known for its incredible architecture, and the father of architect, or the father of Delray, is known as Samuel Ogren. And Laura could talk about the specialty of the Delray architecture.
Well, thank you. Yes, well, our family's actually been here for over 100 years now. So arrived back in 1911 as our city celebrated, actually in 1911, our were turned into Delray Beach. So it was actually incorporated in 1911, and Samuel Ogren was one of the earliest architects of buildings of homes, along with some commercial real estate and building commercial buildings that are in the area. There are several architects throughout this community that are still here practicing, one actually being my father, Roy Simon, so a little plug for him, who is 90 years old this year, and still practicing. He actually designed the building across the street, which is kind of cool. But it is a thing, and a very unique thing about a community that has such a special blend of architecture and restoring our historic buildings. We have several historic districts just within the eastern part of our city that are both residential as well as commercial, and so many of the homes are of his architecture as well. We also have a historic society that has a whole exhibit on his architecture as well. And it is that is just a neat part of this resort community, that a lot of the buildings along Atlantic Avenue are over 100 years old. We have some that were built in 1903 that are still standing, that have been restored. We have some that are celebrating their centennial, which is right down the street from this restaurant. This one alone has been here since the 1940s and has been commercial property, retail, and then turned into a restaurant back in the early 80s. And actually, my father designed this restaurant, and it was back then, and it had a stained glass ceiling that was shipped over from Europe, and it still exists up there. They covered it up with this beautiful tropical scene that they have in the artwork for their lionfish decor. However, underneath there is this really beautiful stained glass ceiling.
Well, thank you for that wonderful clip on the history of Delray. Now we're going to talk about the future of Delray. Steve, what's your thoughts about the growth of real estate here in Delray Beach?
Well, while this is an incredible, historic, eclectic city, it's growing leaps and bounds, and there's so many great things coming to the city. Atlantic Crossing, which is down right before the bridge on the Intercoastal, a phenomenal new multi-use residential, commercial, retail. They're putting in right across the street here. They're opening the largest food court in the state of Florida coming next month. And the buzz is around the city. It's something that everybody's excited about and looking for. Our businesses are growing. People are coming and investing in the city. They're developing the areas of the city that were previously just dirt lots and old, broken down properties. Everything is becoming incredible retail, residential space for all of the residents down here. So it's a phenomenal place to live. I'm sure you guys know a lot more about the mechanics of it.
Yeah, when you think about, I love the history of it, and we're going to maintain the charm and authenticity that you and I often talk about, that we care about this town, but we're going to spread the economic development and the wealth further afield to other parts of the town, which is really important. So we have different neighborhoods that they're starting to grow and they're starting to be developed. So it's just going to be better, I think.
The fact that Delray is easy to get in and out because of the way the state of Florida has been planned. If you live in Boca, you can easily get into Delray. If you live in Delray, you can easily get into Boynton. If you live in Boynton, you can easily get into Boca. The ease of moving into these small towns in and out, I just find it really fascinating. And that's what I also like about it. Like you were saying earlier, you don't have to live in Delray, but you could be a neighbor and still enjoy the fruits and the labor of Delray Beach. So.
Yes, no, it is. The future is bright, and it is exciting. It's exciting to hear because we were a little worried, But it is. We've been really, moving along very, fast.
Nice. Well, thank you. Well, that concludes our wonderful, wonderful segment about Delray Beach, and I thank you all for being here and watching my little show called The Colors of Delray. Now it's time to taste some of the food from Lionfish, and here comes the chef.
How you guys doing today?
Tuna pizza.
Tuna pizza. It's your favorite? Love it. We got a surf and surf right here, and we have a Lionfish City shake.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. That concludes our wonderful segment of The Colors of Delray. Thank you to Lionfish. Thank you to Stephanie, to Laura, to my wonderful managing broker, Steve, and to my amazing mother, Susan, for all being here and making this video so special for my audience outside of Florida.